When writing an equation of the circle, you need two items to accomplish this. First, you need the center of the circle, and you also need the radius of the circle. And remember that the standard form of the circle is what we're going to be used to write the equation of the circle is x minus h all squared plus y minus k all squared equals r squared, where h and k is the center and r is the radius. So we are going to write the equation of the circle given the information. So we have a center of 1, 2, and a radius of 3. So my h is going to be 1, and my k is going to be 2, and my r is going to be 3. So I plug in what h, k, and r into my formula, and it will have my equation. So I'm going to have x minus 1 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 3 squared. And I can work out 3 squared, and I can make that just a 9 instead. And this will be my equation of the circle. Next, I have a center of 1, 0, and we have a point on the circle being -3 and +2. So when I say it's on the circle, that just means I have some circle graphed, and -3, 2 is here. Now I know that's not where -3, 2 would be, but just for the sake of argument, it's just on the outer part of the circle. And 1, 0 is the center, so we know it's some point here going out like that. And so if I know what the distance is between these 2 points, I'll have what's called my radius. So even though I have my center, I got to find the radius, and I can do that just by finding the distance between the center and a point on the outside of the circle. So that's what I'm going to do. So for my distance formula, d equals x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. Just going to plug in my points to get the distance. So I'm going to get -3 minus 1 squared plus 2 minus 0 squared. Now just do the arithmetic on the inside. I'm going to get -4 squared plus 2 squared. And that's going to give me 16 plus 4, which is just going to give me square root of 20. Now I can reduce square root of 20 down if I wanted to, but in this case I'm not going to, and you'll see why in a second. Just remember that this distance is just my radius r. So now I can plug in my center, 1, 0 is h and k, and root 20 for r. So I'm going to get x minus 1 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals the square root of 20 squared. Now y minus 0 squared is going to simplify down nicely. That's just going to give me a y squared, and then square root of 20 squared is just going to be a regular 20. So this is why I don't simplify the square root of 20, because it just becomes a regular 20. So it's easier later on for simplification. In any case, this is my equation for this circle, my equation of the circle for this information given. Last, we have a circle that have endpoints with a diameter of 4, 3 and 0, 1, which just means on a circle 4, 3 and 0, 1 are just across from each other, thus forming a diameter. So I need a center and a radius to be able to write an equation. So since I only have 2 endpoints, if I find a midpoint between the two, I find myself a center. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find the center, or the midpoint, between these 2 points. So again, the midpoint is x1 plus x2 over 2, comma, y1 plus y2 over 2. And so my midpoint is going to be 4 plus 0 over 2 and 3 plus 1 over 2, which is just going to simplify to 2, comma, 2. So here's my midpoint, or I can call it my center. And now I have my center, but I still need my radius. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to find the distance between my center and one of the endpoints. And you can choose either one. Choose whichever you think is easier. And I honestly think 0, 1 is easier, so that's what I'm going to do. So the distance is going to be equal to the square root of 2 minus 0 squared plus 2 minus 1 squared. And now I'm just going to do the arithmetic here. It's going to give me 2 squared plus 1 squared, which is just going to give me the square root of 5. And again, this is going to be my radius. So from here, I have my center, I have my radius. Now I just plug into my formula, which is going to be x minus 2 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals the square root of 5 squared is just going to give me a plain 5. Again, just easier to do it that way. And here is my equation of this circle.